I wanted to welcome everyone to the next step in the creation of our business plans, the marketing strategy. The tool that we will be using to guide us through this process is called a marketing map. Creating an entire marketing strategy can be a very daunting task. Where to start, how much to spend, what promotional tools should we be using? As we get started, keep in mind the answer to the question I'm about to ask. How do you eat an elephant? One quick note on what we should be taking away from this activity. My goal for you is that when you are finished watching this video and performing the exercise, that you have a strong foundation for the entire marketing section of your business plan. At this point in class, you have nailed down who your target markets are, and you have researched them thoroughly. From income to location to spending habits to age, you should know everything there is to know about your target markets. You have also been researching the sources of your competition. You know the major players in the marketplace, the benefits and weaknesses of each one of their products and services, their pricing, and what substitute products and services may exist out there. Before we begin the activity, make sure you have a blank piece of paper or the marketing map document located in Blackboard. In the next step, we must ask ourselves the big question: what are the best ways to get in touch with our customers and make sales? The first step you should take would be to break out your different target markets. You can name as many separate groups as you would like, but for the purposes of this exercise, we will be using 2 target customer groups. The first target market that we have selected are people that appreciate high quality food. We can call these people foodies, we can define them as understanding cooking methods, or we can define them as willing to spend more money on food. The second target market that we have outlined are local businesses that have regular meeting or catering needs on a consistent weekly basis. One important note with this second target market is to be as specific as possible. This could mean businesses in a certain radius, dollars spent per order, frequency of orders, or any other criteria that you deem important. Even though we know who our target customers are, we don't necessarily know how to get in touch with them. This presents a big problem for your company. If there is a demand for your product or services and you can't get in touch with your customers, then some other company will. This brings us to the strategy point in our marketing map. Let's start with our first target market, people that appreciate high quality food. What are different ways to educate people who appreciate high quality food about our company's products and services? If we think about the nature of this group, food is a focal point of their gatherings and a way for them to congregate. Scheduling events would be a great way to bring these customers in, create another source of revenue, and enhance your overall brand. Another way that we can find and attract these customers are by co-branding, partnering with other companies, groups, or clubs that share this same demographic. A great example of this in Central Ohio would be Dine Originals Columbus. Let's move on to our second target market, business accounts. Where do these types of businesses get together? Organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce or Rotary would be a great starting place. We also need to be aware of the specific groups that share your interest. If you are a woman, minority, or veteran-owned business, then seek out organizations that help these groups. Now that we have outlined where to find our target markets, we need to develop actual promotions to reach these groups. This next step focuses on tactics. Let's go back to our first target market, food connoisseurs. Let's develop a cooking class that meets every weekend over a 1-month period. There are other events that we can create, but this focuses on people who care more about food, want to learn more, and are going to be willing to pay for that experience. Remember, every marketing tactic that we create must be directed directly back at our target market. When we talk about tactics with our second target market, the conversation shifts from the creation of events to how we can work with existing groups. This could be hosting of an event, speaking at a function, or simply networking. Let's pause for a moment and discuss the difference between our 2 target markets. We are still building the same brand, but doing so with 2 different messages. Each target market needs to see a different value, so our tactics must reflect their different needs. Finally, we move on to the final stage of our marketing map, activities. Think of activities as the day-to-day tasks that it takes to implement our tactics. We can't just hope for events to create themselves. we have to be intentional with our actions in order to make them happen. In order to promote to our first target market, we need to get them the information when they are actively seeking it. There are multiple ways to do this: Groupon, search engine optimization, specialized invitations, email lists, and even co-branding with partners. Many times we discuss word of mouth, but for a very specific target market, we can't hope that they will eventually hear our message. Rather than waste your time and money, spend it wisely where you can see a return. Switch back to how we promote through organizations. This could be done through food samples, active sponsorship of an event, or creation of a rewards program for each one of our small businesses. Remember, part of why other businesses will give you their business is because they see value in what you can provide. This value can be in great product, but it could also be in cost savings. As we back out and look at the entire picture, we now have specific daily activities that we need to do in order to make sales and eventually gain market share. A couple notes on the tactics stage of our marketing map. These specific promotions need to reflect the attitude of our intended target market. Therefore, creating an invitation to a cooking class cannot be a flyer placed on a windshield. It should be creatively designed and delivered in order to set it apart from the crowd. This will also allow us to get a better idea on the cost per marketing piece and how much we will need to budget for each promotion. The same will be true for our second target market. If they want to see cost savings or return on investment for ordering your products, then your brochures, presentations, or proposals need to drive home the created value. Lastly, one area that we did not discuss is the creation of a website. The reasoning for this is that a website, along with public relations, social capital, and social media, will all support your entire marketing strategy. Remember the question that we asked a couple minutes ago? How do you eat an elephant? Well, the answer is one bite at a time. And that is the answer for our marketing strategy as well. Focus on the day-to-day activities that you can control in order to make headway in the long run. Now it's your turn. Download the marketing map document off of Blackboard, get focused on your target markets, and be creative with your marketing strategy. Good luck.